Today I'm going to be turning myself into the sun. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole. I'm an astrologer, card reader, and life coach, and this is my channel dedicated to all of those things, plus spiritual topics in general. If you are interested in booking a reading or coaching session with me, you may do so at my website. I'll make sure I post it right here. So yes, I'm going to be turning myself into the sun today as part of my Astrological Makeover series. But before I do that, I have a quick announcement. I will actually be teaching a course on the Cards of Truth. This is a Cards of Truth study group. I will be teaching this for 22 weeks starting in May and ending in October. If you're interested in this group, I only have a handful of spots left. So please send me an email, hi@NicoleBrenny.com, or submit your full tuition to the PayPal link that I'll list in the description box. So, the Sun Makeover. I'm so excited for this today. I've been planning this for a while, and to be honest with you, the sun is one of the planets that I have had the hardest time connecting with, but thanks to the ancient texts, which have been compiled in the Graha Sutras by Ernst Wilhelm, I've had some pointers and some tips. So what I mean by allegorical representation is that this video will really be, or this makeover will really be, a symbolic representation of the planets. What color the planets represent, the textures, the types of plants, everything will be in this video that I can fit into this video in a short amount of time. And at the end of this video, I'll go over every single decision that I've made and why I've made those decisions. But please keep in mind that due to monetary things and physics, I can't really completely transform myself into the planet in the way that I'd like. For instance, the sun is honey yellow-eyed, but during the making of the Venus makeover video, I realized that I'm very sensitive to colored contact lenses, so I will not be transforming my eyes into a yellow color today, but I have come up with some creative ways to work around that. So just know that this isn't like a creative interpretation, like, oh, this is what I think the sun looks like. It's an allegorical, symbolic representation used for learning, and when I have to do something that's more of a creative license, I will let you know at the end of the video. So please stick around so you can get the educational aspect of it. But without further ado, let's get started. right, so I did it. I turned myself into the sun. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I know that I did, and this is definitely not a look that I would normally have. So thank you so much for watching. I'm actually in love with this jumpsuit. I'm gonna wear it all the time. And speaking of this jumpsuit, there are some decisions that I made that ended up not making the cut because of whatever reason. I couldn't find the materials I needed or whatnot. And one of those decisions was I wanted to have a swan patch on this jumpsuit. And I chose the swan because one of the names for the sun is Hamsa, or swan, and basically the swan represents the soul's migratory nature, and the sun also represents the soul, or the Atman, and the soul, you know, migrates from body to body. So I wanted to have that symbolism somewhere. I also found this really cool patch of basically like a gradient of different colors that are produced from light, and that's because there are so many different names related to the sun that have to do with the sun being the maker of the day or the banisher of light. So one of these names is Arca, or the ray, which means the ray of light. So I wanted to show that, but it wasn't an iron-on patch, so I couldn't sew it on there in time. I think I will actually outfit this wonderful jumpsuit for my channel in the future with all different things, so I'm super excited about that. So let's talk about what I actually did do. So first off, there is one quote that I pretty much followed for most of the video, and this is from Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. Again, I found this in the Graha Sutras. So, honey yellowed is the sun, square and radiantly pure, O twice born, of Pitta nature, intelligent, masculine, with but little hair. So I wasn't going to turn myself into a masculine guy, and I wasn't going to shave off my hair, but if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, I had very long hair, which I recently cut most of it off, and that was when Sun entered into Aries recently. So I'm shooting this while Sun is in Aries, which is Sun's exaltation sign, and so I'm luckily just had short hair for this video. So speaking of my hair, I just slicked it back and kept it away from the action so that there was less emphasis on my hair, whereas when I did Venus, it was all about the hair, right? So I put these clips in it. As you saw, I blow dried my hair, and the sun is a dry planet, and I just slicked it back so you can't even really notice it. And the sun has little hair because the sun doesn't worry about things which he cannot control. So the hair is something you can't control. You can't make the hair move with your mind. And the hair also represents the past, and the sun is not worried about the past. The sun is worried about the present moment. All right, so the other thing is the sun is honey yellow-eyed, and I did not use yellow eyeshadow except for at the top, which you can't even really see anymore, but I did do a yellow face mask, which was a brightening face mask using turmeric, and that was to try to get in the color yellow. The sun also rules over Leo, and planets aren't necessarily related to colors, but signs are. And the color that Leo is related to is yellow. So that's why I chose yellow for that little bit of highlight on my eyelid and for the mask that I used. Then sun really darkens any complexion that it touches. And so that is why I chose to be very tan. And sun rules over reddish brown complexions, so I did all of this contouring and bronzing and tanning, but then I added blush not only to my cheeks but to my ears, and I used a little bit of lipstick with my fingertips to bring in the redness, almost like I was kissed by the sun, but not too crazy. So that's why I chose to use blush and to use all that contouring and bronzer. And I also chose contouring because the sun is square, and the sun being square basically means that the sun is consistent, the sun is firm, the sun does the same thing every single day. He's very steadfast. So that is the symbolic allegorical representation of the sun being square, as well as these earrings. As you can see, the bottom is very square. Then the sun is radiantly pure, right? So I wanted to be very radiant. So I chose, to use a lot of highlighter everywhere from Milani. I think the name of that highlighter was actually Sun Gold. So I put it on my cheeks, I put it on my nose, on my Cupid's bow, and just about everywhere. I didn't really do anything specific with my eyes. I pretty much just chose to use bronzer and brown colors on my eyes, and then I did use the highlighter on the inside, and I used a bronze eyeliner on the waterline to kind of brighten my eyes, to hopefully bring out more of the gold flecks in my eyes. And then I used copper on the top of my eyes because copper is the color associated with the sun. At least it's the metal associated with the sun. So if you're going to make an idol of the sun, you want to do that with copper. That's why I chose copper. And because the sun has little hair, I didn't put too much emphasis on my eyebrows. I actually used a blonde eyebrow gel to kind of push them back rather than bring them forward. And I chose little tiny miniature eyelash extensions for the ends rather than doing a full set of false lashes, which I've done for the other planets that I've done, because the sun's not supposed to have so much hair everywhere. And then the other choice I made was the lipstick, and the lipstick is based off of Ernst Wilhelm's suggestion. He talks a little bit about makeup in the Graha Sutras, and he says that if the sun were to wear a makeup, the sun would probably choose a red lip, and the sun would actually have red hair. I wasn't going to dye my hair red for this, so I just stuck with little hair rather than red hair. And then the other thing is I chose freckles, and that was kind of more of a creative interpretation. Freckles are actually an aspect of the sun, but only when the sun is with the Lagna Lord and the Lagna Lord is combust. Sun with the Lagna Lord can cause it, but it's more so caused when the Lagna Lord is combust. So I did these nice freckles everywhere that you can see. And the earrings themselves are made from copper, and they have a little wooden piece. This is actually black wood, and I chose black wood because, again, the sun kind of darkens things that it touches, and the sun rules over wood. So the sun rules over any stout plants with roots that kind of keep that plant where it is, rather than things like ferns that kind of just spread out everywhere. So that's why I chose that, and the reason I chose this amazing jumpsuit is because the sun rules over thick red linen. This is the thickest basically fabric that I could find that wasn't a sweater, and I just don't think sweaters really relate so much to the sun. And then instead of the patch, I have this Secret Service pin of a limo. And this is actually from the Secret Service from my brother, and the sun rules over very large vehicles, and the sun is a Kshatriya or a warrior caste, and warrior castes have a lot to do with government positions. So that is why I chose that. I think I pretty much touched on everything, all the decisions that I made. I will probably be including a few more photos that I'm going to take with my friend Alex, and I will go over anything else that I missed in those photos, so stay tuned for that. So these are just a few of the photos that I wanted to share with you all about the sun. And the first one is me wearing red standing in front of a church, or sitting in front of a church, and this is because the sun rules residences of the devas. So this includes churches, mosques, temples, meditation centers, or even the altar area of your own home. Now the next photo that I want to discuss is me sitting in a lotus position surrounded by flames. So the lotus position is the position that is ruled over by the sun. This comes from the quote, "Lotus seated, lotus in hand, brilliant as a lotus flower, and sitting in a 7-horse-drawn chariot with 2 arms is the sun." So I couldn't find any lotuses here in the Midwest, but I did find some hibiscus. So I have seen hibiscus related to the sun, and this is from a mantra that goes something like, "Om, I bow down with devotion to the shining light that is shining red like a hibiscus flower." And this is a mantra for Surya, also known as the sun. And so I have seen some Vedic astrologers aligning the hibiscus flower with the sun. I haven't learned that from my own teachers, but I've definitely seen it places. I also have myself surrounded by flames because the sun is the bringer of the day, the dispeller of darkness, and there are so many different names for the sun. If you're interested in finding out those names, you can follow me at listentothestars_ on Instagram or facebook.com/Nicole Brenny. I'll definitely be sharing more images from this series as well as more information about the sun on those different pages. Then finally, we have me looking upwards, dressed as the sun, and the sun is an upward-looking graha, or an upward-facing planet, and basically upward-facing planets are always looking towards their future. They're always looking for what they want to do, their next goal, the next achievement, and the sun is really looking towards the future towards his own responsibilities and the duties that he has in order to be a really amazing leader. And if you have any prominent upward-facing planets in your chart, you actually could be a much better visual learner than any other type of learning. So that's it for the photos I want to share with you. Like I said, you can follow me on my social media accounts to see more photos from this series. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or if you just like my channel in general. And comment below with the emoji that you feel best describes the sun or your favorite sun emoji. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!